iTunes is pre-2015.
This is a learning process, everybody.
It's all about Microsoft Groove now. Windows Groove.
Okay, we're not going to get any sound from this, but we will get video right there.
There it is.
The chat's going. I'm going to unleash it onto YouTube. Close that out. Yeah, it's taking a second, but we're getting there. Copy that link. Go back to Facebook. Paste that link. Just streaming B&C till at H with Curtis. Just for warning, we're talking about an episode where 4 people eat themselves to death. We're talking about a film, this episode...
And still find time to sleep with prostitutes.
This episode is about a movie where 4 men eat themselves to death. I'm kind of questioning if this is Facebook appropriate.
Maybe we'll wait.
You think? Are you questioning it too, or is it
I'm just picturing my aunt's face.
Yeah. We'll wait till next week when we talk about a Swans album.
Yeah, they'll just like all the women I work with. Not that men. I just don't work with many men. Not to say that the men could handle it and women couldn't. I just don't work with many men. The women that I work with and my family, they're just like, music is like, they're just used to me liking weird music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they even are aware that movies like this exist. And I would almost feel irresponsible being the way they found out.
You know, if it wasn't for one of my former students that I have on Facebook, I'd probably say yeah. But, alright.
Yeah, as the show grows, we'll just, if we want to go in a more webcam heavy, the episodes will follow suit.
Yep.
We'll do things that we don't need. Yeah, it's weird, it's cool. This is the first, now that we're like doing video, now that we can watch ourselves doing it, This is the first time we've ever thought about like, if we say this, people will know we said it.
I'm not that worried. I've talked myself back into it. You wanna?
Yeah, I don't care.
Well,
I don't care about anything, Ben.
You're a nihilist. Okay, last chance. Last chance.
To say no?
To say no.
No, I don't care.
All right. Okay. All right. I shared it.
No.
No.
Wait.
I'm out.
Is it too late?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Okay. You got Audacity set up?
Yes.
Okay.
Shall
before we start, what are we talking about next week?
Swans.
Swans. First 2 Swans albums of the new iteration.
Yes.
Yes. Anything else? Any other business that we need to do?
Are we doing Party Like It's 99 after that?
I know what question you're really asking.
Oh, wait,
and
no,
the
that's
answer
September.
The answer is we are T-minus 6 weeks until Antichrist.
No.
I knew that was the question behind the question that you wanted answered.
No.
Yeah. Yep. It's on here. It says it on this page. I can't change what it says.
I think you could.
As of right now, we have. Yeah. Well, we need to shore this list up a little bit. But
I know we could clean up on it.
What?
Antichrist.
We can mop up Antichrist?
Sweep it out.
Maybe we could delete Bicentennial Man.
We could delete Bicentennial Man. I don't think there's a lot of...
It's a good counterpoint to AI.
Oh.
We're going to need that balance.
I mean, I don't want to sound too radical, but what if we also didn't do AI?
Hey.
Whoa, slow down.
I'm hearing the beginnings of some anti-AI rhetoric in this room right now, and I simply will not countenance that. Were we good to...
Oh, yeah. If we're doing swans next week. And then...
Swans, we're doing My Father Will Guide Me Up a Rope to the Sky and The Seer.
Okay.
Those are the 2 albums that we're going to do. After that, I have Resident Evil Part 1, but that's not right.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right, does it?
That doesn't sound like us. I'm going to go ahead and delete that.
Oh, yeah, just so easy. Just delete it.
Yeah.
It's when
I try to delete Antichrist, my phone gets really hot, and I can't. It won't let me do it.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm thinking about sending it back in. It might be a battery issue or something.
That's true. And then you could just start a new document, and then you wouldn't have to put Antichrist on it.
My thumbs are compelled to put Antichrist on anything.
Ugh. Check. Go ahead, give me a check.
Check. Mic, check.
Ready to go?
I am watching myself. I think Megan's watching us.
No! Megan, get out of here.
Megan, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
You're a loyal listener.
She is a loyal listener.
Mm-hmm.
We have like 3 loyal listeners.
That's right.
She's one of them.
That's right. And we appreciate every one of them.
We do. Without them, we wouldn't have any listeners.
We'd still have a show.
Yeah, I mean, they can't stop that.
Nobody can stop us from doing that.
Shall we?
I'm ready. What?
What's going on?
What happened?
Why is this happening?
We should have tested this. What happened?
The music wasn't happening.
The music wasn't coming through the Audacity?
Yeah.
It was coming through my phones.
What the hell? Stop that.
Nobody can stop us from doing that.
Shall we?
I'm ready. And then silence.
What is going on?
So you're receiving audio from that?
Yeah. And the volume is up on it. What the fuck?
That's right. The number of people who come to the chat are that's how we're our fans. Yeah. This is as we love lists on this show so much. It's time for the real list that everyone cares about. The ranking of the fans.
Get out of here, Spotify. What do you even
Spotify, we don't want you on this podcast. All your content is licensed.
Rap caviar.
Have you ever listened to that?
No.
It would make me feel like a huge dweeb if I listened to that. Rap caviar. But maybe it has the good rap on it. I don't know.
Check. Okay, that's it. That's working. Why is everything so complicated?
Oh, why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
I guess we're just gonna use a Misfits song.
Is someone gonna come after us for the proceeds from our use of this Misfits song?
Oh yeah.
Who owns the Misfits IP?
Danzig.
Glenn Danzig is gonna kick the door down on the
with a lawsuit. That's how Glenn Danzig operates. There we go. We got it. There we go.
Is it working?
It is.
I wonder why it wasn't before.
Yeah, I literally just like closed it and opened it all with the same settings.
Yeah, that does it sometimes.
All right, you ready to go?
I'm ready. We've been setting this up for an hour.
Oh God.
We'll never have to do it again, though. It's good. Hello and welcome to Ben and Curt Till It Hurts, the culture cast caught at the crossroads of curation and castration. I'm Ben.
I'm Curt.
How are you doing, Curtis?
Pretty good now that we're
actually
situated.
Now that we've revised our settings, we've started it over, we've got it off, back on again. Yeah, we are on the air.
This is like optimal Ben and Curt. We are using the full, stupid, unnecessary mixing board setup.
Yeah, I don't think they can see it, but it's right there.
We are live on the YouTube.
Yep.
We're golden.
We're firing on all cylinders. We've entered the future.
We have some people that are watching, I think.
Yep, she's probably doing dishes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, chores around the house.
Text her and ask her.
Hopefully she set the baby up in front of the computer. And she's like, there's Daddy's in the computer.
She needs to know her legacy. She needs to see what she needs to pick up.
And she needs to start preparing for when she needs to edit all the back unedited podcasts as part of Jen and Bert Till It Hurts. Yeah. That's what I'm going to start. I'm never going to name my baby on the show, but I'll just call her Jen.
So you know what we should do? We should each have more than one child. So we can have Jen and Bert as like the hosts.
Yep.
But I feel like a lot of the work, especially today, I'm realizing a lot of the work outside of just being cool podcast hosts falls on us. So we could have our we could have our other children be like admins and like
bureaucrats.
Yeah, like
the greatest dream of any parent for their child. My baby grows up to be a mid-level bureaucrat.
Yeah.
For a podcast.
Yeah. I have a relevant story to that slightly, but I don't think it's really podcast relevant. So
really,
we'll just
ditch
it, I guess.
I hope that eventually the podcast is responsible for all. Oh man. Apparently our sound is very echoey. It's that Meowth doll, man.
Yeah.
Meowth doll isn't doing the trick.
You want me to put them on the table to soak up the noise? I think this will help.
There we go. The third chair. Hello. Yes, something is wrong with the audio. All right.
Yep. Back to square one.
Back to freaking square one with this.
Meowth isn't even on here yet. It says we have a healthy stream.
So that's going in our favor. Let me see about this audio. Give me 1 second. Curtis, bam.
I can't.
Whoa, that sounds crazy.
I don't like that. I heard it.
Hear this.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not right. Threatening to menace you with the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how do we fix that problem?
Let's just record today, and then well.
Is it not? It's not doing that on the Audacity, is it?
That's what happened that first time you were streaming, and I started watching you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah.
One more check.
Yeah.
One more check,
No,
everybody.
go for it.
And we can keep talking while we do this.
Yeah. This is the premium service that you're paying for. This is what doesn't make it to the show. So now that we have to kill time, I will tell you my sort of relevant story.
Okay.
I have part of like at work we started having these meetings of like the kind of the head of each department, the heads of the department get together. So like facilities and technology and nutrition and stuff. And our leader wanted us to like come up with a name. So, if we were like we'd be like unified, And I was thinking like we should just come up with the most vague name possible, because that's like kind of a dream of mine, is that classic like nobody really knows what my job is, and I don't really know what it is. Like I just show up every day and I kind of like hide around and kill time until it's time to go home. I think that's...
You're living in a Kafkaesque nightmare, right?
Yeah.
That's the dream.
And I think that is the dream, and I think that that's something to strive for. So I think for our children, when they're producing this show, it's very important to me that they also don't really know what they're supposed to do, and nobody else knows what their expectations of our children are. But somehow, because the show is so big, it just keeps like trudging along, just like rolling on its, rolling due to its own weight, and no one really knows how it happens. I think that's like the end all goal.
Yeah, we want it to be kind of a natural phenomenon
For this show. Yeah.
Nobody started it. It's the unmoved mover of the world.
And you think by the time our children are old enough to, to maneuver a podcast, it's going to be so much, it's not even hard now, and it's going to be so much easier. They're going to be able to just have, like...
Probably from their glasses or something.
Yeah, and the audio will just be impeccable. Like, you'll just be able to, like, stream into people's heads, and then it'll just be, like, a quiet, like, it'll be, like, as clear as your thoughts are. And it won't matter how nice your microphones are.
Well, it's the, one of the things that I've been doing this week is reading Marshall McLuhan.
Yeah.
And Marshall McLuhan was a kind of a media theorist who came up with the idea of the global village. This idea that in the age of electronic mass communications technology, there is no division. The spatial divisions of people no longer are relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, the internet is the purest expression of this idea. So, the internet is one step closer to just everyone having telepathy with everyone else all the time.
Which I'm excited for.
Which is also, in my opinion, a descriptor that is indistinguishable from hell.
No, I'm pretty down for that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
That sweet, sweet dream.
Yeah. I had a fucking weird dream last night.
Oh, good. All right. Do we want to do Dreamcast right here?
I don't know how much we should do right here, because none of this is going to be in the show.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think this is all going to get cut, so...
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't know how, sometimes I feel bad, like, whenever we have, like, a segment, like, what if people don't like Dreamcast? What if they don't like our music episodes? What if they don't like X? But then no one really reaches out to us, so I guess it's their fault. We should just keep doing what we want to do.
Apparently OBS streams our desktop sound. Now the question is how to stop that. I'm so intent on this.
Yeah.
Audio.
It's good to have a good show.
Desktop audio device disabled.
I wonder...
Okay, let's check and see if that fixed it.
Do you think it's because we have the stream up, like the web page with the stream up?
It might be, but I think that it's okay to do that. I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know anything about streaming.
Me either. This is a learning process. Let me pull that stream back up. Hey, can I have your Wi-Fi password?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to...
Broadcast it.
Yeah. I'll write it down for you.
Okay.
Gotta be a piece of paper in here somewhere.
Somewhere in the trash mountain. An old Bull Moose receipt for Fallout New Vegas. You bought a 5th copy.
Yes. You wanna play a quick game?
Yeah, sure.
Which of these items is not mine?
Ooh.
Butchered at Birth by Cannibal Corpse. Skeletal Domain by Cannibal Corpse. Songs of the Humpback Whale by Jodi Picoult. Diary of the Dead, and Land of the Dead.
Oh man, I can't wait for our Dead series. Yeah, I think I know that it was the Cannibal Corpse album.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not a big George Fisher guy. I like my Corpse Grinder. So the wife, she likes Butchered at Birth was for her.
Oh, the old ball and chain.
She likes the old Chris Barnes.
You guys, Netgear 63.
Yep.
Are you passing it under the,
Yes, sir.
That's a nice password.
Now that you know what the worst part is, like I'm now looking into the future, into the past, and you can just see me writing it, so whatever. So if you're ever near...
If you're ever near this
If you ever
undisclosed
hear
location,
yeah, if you ever hear the name of,
as long as we make sure they never find.
I would prefer to have no one ever find out where I live.
Yes, me too.
Yep.
Did we stop streaming to do that?
I don't know.
Are we streaming right now? Okay, we sound normal now. Just had to take care of that checkbox. Yet now the video and audio have switched locations on this.
Perfect.
It's fine. All right, let's actually start now.
Are we starting over?
Thank you, Babblefish, for telling us. Do you think you could edit that together to sound okay
I don't know.
in Audacity?
Well,
Do you think you could edit out the part where we experienced 15 full more extra minutes of technical difficulties?
yeah, I'll make it work.
Yeah, you'll figure it
The
out?
quality of our show is not so great that if it doesn't sound perfect, people will be pissed
That's
or
true.
we'll lose sponsors.
That's true.
Speaking of which, this episode of Ben and Curt Till It Hurts has been brought to you by Polar Seltzer Water.
As has every episode of Ben and Curt Till It Hurts.
On the one episode that we're not drinking Polar Seltzer Water, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got a Canada Dry here.
Yeah,
raspberry.
I'm
It's
drinking
tasty.
iced coffee.
How can you drink coffee at night, you psycho?
Yeah, I shouldn't. I really
You're
shouldn't.
going to regret that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Got to be high energy for this episode. So, Curtis, how you been?
I've been good. I have two things to share
Okay.
from the past week. The first was that last week I mentioned that I was going to see the Acacia Strain, and
Yes.
I did, and it was weird, but it was good, and overall I was happy with it.
Why was it weird?
It was weird because the singer of that band is the only original member. And now a lot of times you'll have a band that only has one or no original members. But you're like, yeah, whatever though. Their guitarist's been there since like 1987. They've been there since it mattered. The Acacia Strain has their original singer, a very long time drummer that is currently not performing for some reason. I don't know why he's not on tour. And then very new members.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing related to that is that their singer used to be a pretty big guy. And I've been seeing on Instagram that he did like the keto diet thing.
Oh, wow.
So he is like half the size that he
that's
used to
weird.
be.
Yeah.
So they're like one of my favorite bands. I think this was the 13th time I've seen them.
Good.
And they came out. I didn't recognize anyone at all because even the singer looked completely different since the last time I had seen them. And I was like, man, this is weird as hell. Like, this is the 13th time I've seen my favorite band, and it doesn't even look like them.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started playing some songs, and I was like, it still sounds the same.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in a weird way, it sounded like better because for a long time they only had one guitarist, so you couldn't tell on the albums, but like live, there was really some sounds missing from the performance. But now they have two guitarists, so it actually sounded closer to the albums than I've ever heard it sound. So overall, very good performance.
Where were they?
They were at the tiniest venue I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
They were at Port City Music Hall.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Have you not been there before?
No.
You've never been to Port City Music Hall?
No.
Wow.
So, yeah, like...
I've been there several times.
When
At least.
we're like the same
A
age.
handful,
I don't want to be like you youngins. Like, we're the same age. But when I predominantly went to shows, most like metal and hardcore shows took place at a venue called The Station. And they have since closed. So this is kind of like the new, smaller venue that I'd never been to it.
It is not a new venue, I don't think.
In the metal scene, it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
new venue because The Station was always like the go-to.
Mm-hmm.
That's where bands play.
Fallout new venue.
Yep. So it was sick. Yeah, it was good.
I believe that's where I'm going
Oh.
to see Jeff Rosenstock.
What a different experience.
Yeah.
I went to the State
I
Theater.
don't know. I think Jeff's been losing some weight recently. You
Yeah,
know,
good for him.
Yeah.
Great album this year. He's
Yep.
looking good.
Yep. Everything's coming up, Jeff.
By way of your child, he now has a new fan
Mm-hmm.
because
She's gonna love him.
Just lump her in.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, this is a weird one. I started watching. My wife has never seen the Lord of the Rings films.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I was like, hey, let's watch one. And it's a whole new experience for me. Because me being me, before you taught me how to break down the categories, I don't know if I've ever watched Lord of the Rings and not watched like the whole 13.5 hour. And it turns out they're actually way better when you just watch like one half of one extended version.
Well, you know, I think that's very appropriate for this episode because, you know, like overindulging in sensory experience is one of the hallmarks of our age, and that's one of the places this movie is very successful in depicting the like ultimate emptiness of that, that degrading act.
And I'll tell you, it made a huge difference. When I was always growing up, it was like, have you ever watched them all together? Like, that was like the big endurance test. And that's how I'd done it more often than not. And it turns out they're all good movies.
Each one individually is a good movie.
Yeah. We've been watching the first, like, one disc, so half of each one at a time. And they're just great. She loves them. I was really excited that she liked it a lot. And I was like, sweet, so we can actually do this.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with it. What have you been up to?
Just reading a bunch of books, man. I know.
We read a book last week, Ben.
Yeah.
We're good for like 10 more years.
Yeah, I read a Marshall McLuhan book called "The Medium is the Massage." Ooh. Yeah, you've heard the phrase "the medium is the message," right? He was the originator of that phrase, I believe, in his book "Understanding Media," or in one of the essays from that book. So for his book after that, where he wanted to kind of expand upon that idea, he did a pun of it and called it "the medium is the massage," and then justified the pun by saying that the modern state of being surrounded by media, very much as we are in this room, literally, is akin to the sensory experience of a massage. One of his great contentions is that you don't really experience modern media or the modern state of media surroundedness with your eyes so much as you do with your ears and your eyes and kind of all your senses all at once. So it's like getting a big massage from all the, you know, great mass media purveyors of the day. So that was a great book.
Yeah.
A great kind of multimedia experience. There's a lot of photographs in it. Other than that, I've been reading The Inferno by Dante Alighieri, the great 14th century religious poem.
Classic.
It is.
The definition of classic.
Hey, they don't write them like that anymore, man.
In prose.
It's one of those great. It's one of those great examples of. You know how sometimes the originator of a type of thing is still the best.
Yep.
Many decades later.
Try centuries.
Yeah, in this case, it's like it's been more than half a millennia since this was written, and it's like, yeah, you know, it's still better than 99% of other novels.
Yeah.
It's got. I think you could. It has a good claim for potentially being the first novel. You know, there's a lot of argument about when novels came into being, but if you're going to make an argument, you might as well make an argument for the Divine Comedy because fits all the criteria.
I thought Beowulf was considered to be the first. I don't know.
Beowulf has a strong case as well.
Yeah.
Beowulf does have a strong case as well.
I didn't realize
like
that.
800, 900 or something.
Yeah. I didn't even know that there was like debate. I thought it was just considered to be.
There's an ongoing discussion in the history of literature as to what's the first novel.
Next week on Ben and Curt.
Next week on Ben and Curt and
Beowulf
extended
versus
the Divine Comedy. Yeah, I will say that I think the Divine Comedy is better than Beowulf. Is it the first novel more than Beowulf is? I don't know. That remains to be seen. This is going to be the most contentious episode since Mulholland Drive.
Oh God, I thought today was going to be pretty laid back, but I guess we can't let that go.
Nope, we got to find something to argue about.
Have you been up to anything else?
Nah, dude. Just like, well, I mean, in the process of buying a house.
That's sick.
So that's a lot as well. But I don't know. I've just wanted to read books, and I watched one movie, and it was a mistake. And it was a movie called La Grande Buffe.
Yeah. This episode of Ben and Curt Till It Hurts, I proudly can say, is the last episode that I will ever pick based on something I have not seen before.
Yeah, maybe we don't. Maybe this is more of a appreciate the culture that's already in our brains.
Yeah.
More than like a sight unseen, try things out.
Yeah.
And I did not hate this movie.
No, me neither. But
I liked it in some ways.
Right out the gate, this film was not what I expected it to be. And if you guys watched it and hated it, I apologize, because that's kind of my fault. Because I definitely... This episode is not the type of episode that I thought it would be, because it's not the type of film that I thought it was. I really thought we were going into a, like I was telling you earlier, like an audition or a society type, like, slow burn, grotesque horror that was going to end up in this, like, disgusting food orgy of shame and sweat. And it just, like, this movie kind of just, like, just went along. And, nothing, even, like, at crazy times, I don't think I allowed myself to really be invested in anything that happened in it, because I just kept thinking, like, is this the thing that's the beginning of the big gross end? Like,
see, I read some Amazon reviews before I watched it, so I kind of had an idea that it was. Plus, like I said, it's a movie from the 70s, and they only made a certain kind of movie in the 70s, especially in France.
See, that's kind of where I have, like, the opposite experience, where it's like, I was like, I don't fucking know what they did in movies in France. Like, I don't like, yeah. So I went in thinking, like, oh, maybe they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Maybe, you know, we're going to have to make up for this by doing some, like, Euro trash. We'll do, like...
Euro Trip?
No. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, what's that dude's name who directed all of the...
Uwe Boll.
That's not what I was thinking of, but we'll do some of that, too.
Paul W.S. Anderson.
No. It's fine. I'm not gonna remember.
Who directed all of what? Give me anything.
Give me one. Give me something to work off.
Give me any proper noun.
Just give
Name a proper noun.
Hold on. Jesus Franco.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he did a bunch of the. If you see, like, Arrow Blu-ray re-releases of really cool, like, covers.
Yeah.
Most of those are, like, Euro trash that were directed by him. Let's see. We have, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just looking at his films, which is not the point of this.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were getting into, and it just was not.
No, it super duper wasn't. What was it instead? It was... exactly what it said it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was four men who apparently get together at this villa every few weeks or every once in a while to eat and enjoy the sense of what they refer to as, what was it? I can't freaking remember. They enjoy the sensory experience of eating.
The physical pleasures.
Yeah, yes, exactly. They get together one final time, and over the course of the film, you find out that their plan is to eat themselves to death. Mm-hmm. And then they just do that.
That's what they did.
There's no... Probably the biggest twist is with that this woman, Andrea, who brings an elementary school class to see the villa, to see this tree that this poet used to go to for inspiration. She comes... and they, on a whim, invite her back for dinner that night. It's the first day they're there. And this is in the film is kind of before it's been revealed that they're going to eat themselves to death. So they invite her back, and then she does decide to come back for dinner that night, along with the prostitutes that they have by that point hired to hang out and to sleep with them. And even though Philippe is very worried that she is going to be upset about the prostitutes and the fact that they're eating themselves to death, turns out she's totally into it.
Surprisingly cool.
She is totally into it, and she's, like, ready to help, and she's...
Yeah. She's like, you know what? These prostitutes, they don't get it.
These prostitutes don't get it. And the prostitutes just fade out of the film.
Yeah.
Pretty much after Marcello dies.
Yeah.
I
think one of them starts, like, throwing up because they're so grossed out by what they're witnessing, and then they just, like, leave.
Yep.
And then the school teacher is like, no worries, I'll just sleep with all of you and feed you to death. So, yeah. And, you know, the weird thing is, like, if you go, like, on Wikipedia and just, like, read the synopsis of this film, it sounds pretty grotesque and, like, fucked up, but it's just stretched over. It's such a long movie that, like, none of it...
2 hours, 10 minutes was the cut that I watched on Amazon.
And none of it feels like that intense at once because they give you so much time to like get over each thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, weird movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what did it make you think about? I think I liked it more than you did. I'm realizing.
Yeah. No. I mean,
I didn't love it, but it definitely made me think about stuff.
Yeah. No. I enjoyed it. I think it just. I'm glad it's on Prime because I want to watch it again. Like knowing what it is.
I don't know if I could watch it again.
I would watch it again.
Not like I'm so disgusted by it, but
no.
I fell asleep the first time I was watching it anyway.
Yeah.
I had to look on Wikipedia to see how Marcello died.
Yeah.
I like slept right through that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, I just think if I watched it again knowing more of what... I might pick up more subtleties.
You wouldn't be waiting for the...
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's subtleties in it. I think that it's just what it says it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. There's nothing else to it. It's just so directly the thing that it says is going to be.
They don't even tell you why they're doing it. Like,
no, well, like why would you need to know? There are a bunch of guys. It's like, what else do we have left?
I think
they all are pretty successful, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's a judge. Philippe is a judge. Marcello is a pilot.
Famous chef.
Ugo is a famous chef, and
like a TV producer.
Michel is like a TV host or a TV producer or something.
So
and like a dancer as well, and yeah.
So I think my idea for what, and maybe this isn't ironclad, but I think the reason that they've decided to kill themselves is because they are upset and scared of growing old. That's kind of the read that I got.
What gave you that impression?
I'm so bad with names, especially when it's like foreign names. Weirdly, not to go too far on a sidebar, but the names of these characters are their real names.
Really?
Yeah, so like
that is kind of weird.
That is a little freaky.
The actors' names.
Yeah. So we have one of them was impotent, which I think is a
Marcello.
Yeah, I took that
Marcello
as
dies after his impotence
as a sign of my body's no longer working and I'm angry and
he's so obsessed with the Bugatti the whole time. Too. Yeah.
And then
loves that car. He freezes to death outside with the car, doesn't he?
Which is like really weird.
Yeah.
And then Philippe was, I believe, the one with the live-in nanny who never moved out.
Yep.
So I think that
who he just sleeps with all the time.
Yeah, but not. It would still be weird no matter what, but not even like in a relationship way. Like she's just still his nanny.
She just takes care of all his needs, and as he got older, his needs grew into sexual needs, and she just kept taking care of him.
Just kept doing it. So I think that as he gets older, that gets hard. That is more and more challenged, and I think that's kind of where I drew that conclusion.
Okay.
And then we have the TV producer was, I think, just kind of like separated, and I maybe think like maybe he's separated from his wife. I'm totally just like filling this with my own weirdness, but like I was thinking, well, if I wanted it to fit that description of like scared of growing old, like maybe he's separated because like his wife is also getting old, so he it like breaks up, and then he's trying to just like, you get the impression that he doesn't really speak to his daughter much, or his wife or ex-wife. I don't know. That was just kind of where I was trying. I liked that, and I think I was kind of just trying to like, well, if I wanted that to happen, how could I make that fit? But yeah, hard to do episodes about things you've never seen, because this was just a weird. It was just a weird...
I had never heard of this movie before you brought it up.
I don't even know how I heard about it, which is very concerning.
Yeah.
And I was also saying to you before we were recording that, like, I think I had hoped, like, maybe I've stumbled upon, like, this, a new cannibal holocaust for me.
That's
like, you want to see a fucking weird, crazy movie. But they've just all been discovered.
Man, in the age of the internet, that just doesn't exist
Shame
anymore,
on me for thinking that I could discover something that wasn't already, picked clean.
Yeah.
I was going to turn that.
Vultures.
Yeah, I was going to turn that bone over and find some juicy meat.
Vulture.
That.
Well, no. The thing is, it doesn't exist in the mass media space anymore. You know, that stuff is all underground now.
Yep.
So like, you wouldn't have. Bring it back to like middle school times, right? You've seen all the stuff that'll freak you out. Have you seen Salad Fingers? Right? Yeah. So like have you seen Kuso? All right.
I think so.
You haven't seen Kuso.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Kuso is the fucking craziest shit that I've ever seen. Kuso is a fully insane film. Kuso is one of the best movies I've seen in the last few years, and it's just bananas, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear about it. It's a Shudder exclusive, directed by Flying Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's an incredible movie.
I think that I've never seen it, but I think there's a movie, like, I don't know if it's American, but I believe it is. I think there's a movie that is kind of equivalent to this film in the way that I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Sallow? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is more... I've never seen that.
100 Days of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they just, like, lock some teenagers and make them, like, eat each other's poop and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's a proud French tradition, a proud French literary tradition of sort of atheistic self-indulgence.
Yeah.
After the French Revolution, obviously, when religion was banned. And it all goes back to the Marquis de Sade and his novel. I think it was a novel about like these people locking themselves in a house and just engaging in the most degenerate, disgusting acts you can imagine. What was that book called? I think that's the one that's like 100 Days of Sodom or something.
Have you ever...
That's where sadistic comes from.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you ever read No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre?
Nope.
I don't want to go on too strong saying this, but if just based on you and I as like friends, if I were going to suggest a book club episode of B&C Till at H, I would probably suggest No Exit.
Yeah? What is it?
It's a play written by a French philosopher. An existentialist philosopher.
Okay.
Name of Jean-Paul Sartre. We should do it sometime. Probably never will. You should just read it, I guess, so we can talk about it, I guess. But I think I have to... If I've learned anything from the Grande Buffe, it's that not everything I do in my life needs to be a podcast episode. I can just, like... I can just check shit out for my own still. That's something I learned.
Oh, yeah, from this.
From this experience.
Yeah.
We don't need to promise everything's going to be a podcast episode. Except all 7 parts of the Resident Evil novelization.
Yeah, we're no longer reading the... I'm looking up stuff about the Marquis de Sade. I'm going to read this. We are no longer reading the Chronicles of Narnia. We are reading 7 Resident Evil novels.
We are reading 7 Resident Evil novels.
Yes. I thought the 120 Days of Sodom, or the School of Licentiousness, is the novel that I'm talking about. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I thought you were gonna indulge us.
It's described as both pornographic and erotic.
Wait.
It tells the story of 4, written in 1785. Tells the story of 4 wealthy male libertines who resolve to experience the ultimate sexual gratification in orgies. You're welcome, all Facebook viewers, by the way. Isn't this? This is what you thought we talked about in this room.
For the record, this is a very weird.
Yeah.
This was probably one of the most poorly planned episodes.
And there have been a lot of poorly planned episodes.
And this was the episode where we decided, like, let's tell our family about it. Like, so. If any of my aunts are listening, I just apologize right now.
Yep.
I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Aunts, we know you're fans of the show. We know you're listening.
They get 4 female brothel keepers to tell the stories of their lives and adventures. The women's narratives form an inspiration for the sexual abuse and torture of the victims, which gradually mounts in intensity and ends in their slaughter. This was a novel written by someone in France. It's still... And it's one of those... It's another one of those kind of, like, Inferno, Divine Comedy type deals where it's like, that's the most disgusting novel I can imagine being written.
Yeah.
People have tried to write more disgusting novels since then, or, like... American Psycho. What
the poop that took a pee.
The Poop That Took a Pee.
Yep.
American Psycho. Other Bret Easton Ellis books, or like Chuck Palahniuk books. These are all books that take after the tradition of the Marquis de Sade. But at some point, the first person to do something sees what they want to do with such clarity that it's almost, you almost have to wonder, like, why would you want to do that more? So you're engaging with fragments of the text, but you don't want to encase or overwhelm the text itself. It's like the 120 Days of Sodom stands as that's the high watermark. It's like, let no one ever go farther than that. In my opinion.
And that's,
call me a prude.
That's fine to have that opinion, but my counterpoint will be,
what if you have a really good idea?
Well, or we're just going to keep going. I'm going to make a point to bring up Dope Smoker on every episode.
Good. It's the new Resident Evil 4.
Dope Smoker is the new Resident Evil 4. So, if no Doom metal album came out after Dope Smoker, that would be okay because we have Dope Smoker.
Mm-hmm.
But although no stoner doom metal album has been as good as Dope Smoker since Dope Smoker, I'm still glad some exist.
Yeah.
You know, I can still enjoy some of them and take things out of them.
Yeah. I don't think that's. I hope that doesn't come across as a counterpoint to what I was saying. I wasn't saying that none of them should exist because they all take the text and mix it with other stuff.
I see. Okay.
And they bring they're valuable in that way. Every author brings their own perspective to it, but it's almost, I guess it's almost comforting in the case of 120 Days of Sodom that exists. We know what lies down that path. We know what lies down the path of ultimate literary depravity.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it. It's there. It was written in 1785. You can read it if you want to. It's probably public domain.
Yeah, I would assume.
I could read selections if I wanted.
You know, that's the new podcast. Like,
we're gonna do a
take
book
turns
club.
reading it to each other in the dark. While every week we have to eat birthday cake while we do it.
We have to eat fucking disgusting pate. That pate scene.
That was hard.
Is tight.
That was
Have
hard.
you ever had pate?
No.
Neither have I. So all I could do is imagine what liver pate tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had liverwurst, which I think might be similar.
Yeah.
It's like super spreadable meat.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
liverwurst is okay.
Okay.
Spread it on some crackers.
Yum.
Leaves like a film in your mouth. Like a greasy.
That doesn't sound okay. Nothing about that sounds okay. I'm not interested in that.
Shout out to my dad who would just put liverwurst on crackers while we watched TV when I was a kid.
You want to try some of this?
Yeah. Also, shout out to little pieces of baked pumpernickel bread with cheddar cheese.
Oh man! Shout out to macaroni and cheese.
Oh man, we already did a macaroni. We should do an episode about macaroni and cheese.
We should do an episode. We should do a food episode.
Yeah.
We should do a whole food podcast. Hey, shout out to Buffalo Wings, man.
Oh,
yeah. Shout out to Buffalo Wings. Post-vegetarian life.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say it unless you said it first.
So is that public?
I don't
Is
know.
that public knowledge?
I didn't know if it was public knowledge or not. You're entitled to keep whatever you want private. Since your post-vegetarian life, is Buffalo Wings what's your best experience thus far?
Buffalo Wings is very high up there. Buffalo Wings is very high up there indeed. There's a scrub. What would you call it? What do you do to meat? You scrub it? What do you? It's not a marinade. Some kind of spread. My wife made chicken with a mustard spread glaze. It's not a glaze. It's crumble.
I don't know.
She made chicken what had mustard sauce on it.
Okay.
That was pretty darn good too.
Glaze?
It was kind of a glaze, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was excellent.
Good.
As well. So it's all chicken based is the thing. All different ways of preparing chicken have been kind of my
chicken is
my
great.
marks.
Or
any hamburger has been good too. Hamburgers just in general have been really tight to return to.
Yeah.
I had a chicken sandwich from BK.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
That was nice, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh man, we should do a food episode.
That's what the audience wants.
That's the other thing we've learned from Grande Buffet. More food, less movies we've never seen before.
Yep.
Stick to things we know are good.
Yeah.
Like chicken sandwiches
Ooh.
with a pickle and some aioli
I
on
didn't
it.
have a pickle on it.
Oh, you gotta.
No, I gotta go.
You gotta do the crispy chicken with a pickle on it. That's like your. You lived down south, haven't you?
Nope.
I thought you just lived. I assume you.
My dad was from the south.
I assume you've lived everywhere.
Mm.
You've lived in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah. This movie made me think of something else, though.
What's
Have you
that?
ever seen the French film Delicatessen?
No.
It was directed by the same director who directed Amélie, a fine film that many people enjoy. And it's just a great movie. I don't really remember what it's about, but it's another French movie that's about food and has some weird elements to it.
Okay.
It's not as it's less realistic than La Grande Buffe, and I think that is to its benefit. Let's just get down to business and start imagining how we would remake La Grande Buffe to accentuate its weirdness.
Sure.
To accentuate all the parts that we like about it and to diminish the parts that we didn't like.
Okay. So
I'm talking found footage.
You want to go found footage?
I want to go found footage. I think Andrea is the camera person in the remake that I want to make because I think it's important that it still be for men.
Yeah. Naturally.
Yeah.
If I were going to change things about it, I think one of the key factors missing from the film, and it does it a little bit, but I think one of the key factors missing from themes of indulgence is also themes of shame.
You think shame was missing from this movie?
I think that if I were going to remake this and like really exploit and just amplify all the emotions in this film, I would have had, was it Philippe? I would have, there was, whoever proposed to the teacher.
Okay, that was Philippe.
Philippe, he was upset when he saw that she was, at the first time that she was like doing sexual things with one of the other, the other gentlemen. I would have made that soul crushing. I would have made that ruin Philippe.
He said it didn't bother him.
He said it didn't. Like I think he said it in like a no, this is fine. It doesn't bother me. I would have made him just like solemnly just walk to the kitchen and just shove until he just choked to death. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Give me some changes. Maybe I'll think of some more
changes. I don't know. I think that if you remade it, found footage. Well, I guess I gotta wonder. Like, am I trying to make it scarier? Am I trying to make it funnier? Or am I trying to keep that tone the same? You know, I think I would kind of lean towards keeping the tone the same because I think the tone was the thing that I think this movie had a fabulous idea. It was just before its time.
Yeah.
Because found footage had not been invented.
that's really the last.
That's the linchpin for me.
I guess maybe in the 70s it was a horror film for lack of a better word, but
you think?
I don't know. I mean, there was nothing.
I think it's a dark satire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there was anything that horrific.
No, I don't think anyone considered it a horror movie.
See, for some reason I had it in my head that it was like a horror film.
Yeah, I don't know. It has kind of a horror movie cover, I guess.
Like just like body horror, like not like scary, just like
a guy poops himself to death.
Yeah, so I thought it was gonna be more amplified. Props to them for showing the poop,
showing the poop on the back of his
trousers as he just like sits in a puddle of it, and then the poo flooding the kitchen area.
Yep,
which is really cool. Actually, that was
one of the parts that I slept through. Actually,
really,
yeah.
Tell me about it. Don't go back just to watch that, but that part was really cool from like a filmmaking standpoint because it was just this like moment where they're just indulging in all these things they love, and it's like, I mean, there are like the parts with all the farting that are like funny and stuff, you know?
Michelle has
when they're all like rubbing his belly for him and coaxing it out, which is, you imagine being like the sound design guy?
Oh, a lot of fun.
Just a fart guy in a film. But
you just have that on your resume, fart supervisor.
Yeah, fart supervisor. That's right up there with corn dog wrangler.
I think that's already on my resume. Yeah, because you were the corn dog wrangler, weren't you?
I don't remember if it was me. I almost think it might have been Zach. I don't remember.
Zach was the corn dog eater.
Okay.
Zach was the one that I brush his teeth with a frozen corn dog.
Those
frozen in big air quotes.
Those days
Sorry about that, Zach.
are just a blur to me.
I found my inner tyrannical director on that. It was like, no, I know what we need to get.
I know what
you're
going
to need to do.
I have a vision, people.
You need to live out my vision. My vision is that he brushes his teeth with that corn dog.
Yeah. I miss film club. I wish.
Me too.
I wish I could go back and refocus, knowing myself now what I would have,
Drop out of school, focus on film club.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Honestly. But I think that was a really cool cinematic moment of they're just enjoying all these good, delicious things, and then that's the first moment where you can't put something into something it's supposed to go into anymore, and it just starts just regurgitating, and it's just disgusting, and the things they say are hilarious. Like, it's just like weird translations, so they're just like horrified that there's poop all over the floor, and just a cool. That part was cool. That was a cool,
good moment.
A good and cool moment. So I would do that again, but I would have it be like waist deep. I think,
and like a 30-minute sequence.
Yeah, and if it has to be found footage, the camera the dips.
So it's not waist deep, or like maybe like so Michelle is on his back, right?
Yeah,
and because he can't move because he's farting so much,
right?
And then the poop comes up out of the toilet, and it covers him
completely.
Or
he climbs up onto a counter and he drops the camera in the sea of poop. And then
what's Michelle doing with the camera? Come on,
Andrea
has the camera.
Andrea,
come on.
I'm sorry.
Andrea has to go down to save Michelle
from
under the poop tsunami.
Yeah.
Or this is just a Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah.
This is just
God, we are just really following the path of Kevin Smith, and I am sorry to everyone.
For one, speaking of shame, are we done?
I mean, we fucking can be. We still got to do Dreamcast, so.
Yeah, I didn't have many good dreams. I had one interesting, somewhat, not even somewhat interesting. It's like a 3-sentencer,
You want to hit me with it, or you want me to go first?
I'll hit you with it. Did you have a more substantial dream?
I remember more of it than 3 sentences, but I don't remember most of the dream.
Yeah. I mean, so this dream was that I was late. I was getting ready to go to work, and then I realized that I was 3 hours late.
I've had those.
Yeah, that it was actually that it was 10:23 in the morning. Very specific time that I remember, and I'm curious about if that's going to come up again. I realized that it was 10:23 in the morning, and that I was hours late, and I kind of had this feeling of like, why bother?
Yeah.
Might as well just relax for a couple more hours.
I'm already 3 hours late.
At this point, why rush? You know? Nobody's called. I assume they don't care. But then on my way to school, I got on all kinds of weird adventures that I don't remember anything of. Other than that, at one point, I dug in my pocket for pocket change to spend on an arcade cabinet. And the way this arcade cabinet worked was it would display 2 cards, and then you would press a button to draw a new card, and you would decide if you wanted to replace one of your 2 like trading cards with characters on them. And they all had different values, and the only point of the game was to increase the value of your 2 cards. And I played it for like half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. I did not feel good about that afterwards.
Yeah.
In the dream or after the dream.
Oh, man.
All right, hit me with that dream.
So this was just last night, I had a dream. I don't remember most of it, but there are little fragments that I do remember. It felt like a very long dream. It feels like there are large parts of the dream that I don't remember. It all took place on the stretch of road that I grew up on. So the first snapshot I remember is just walking down part of this road, which is very far from where other parts of it happened. So I feel like in my dream I felt as if I walked this whole stretch, this couple miles of road.
Wow.
The second part, I was in the house across the street from the house I was born in, and the neighbor of my house that I was born in was backing out of his driveway in a comically large silver pickup truck. Like, it was...
How big are we talking here?
It was like when you're playing a video game.
How many normal-sized pickup trucks to make one of these?
It was just scaled huge. Like, not like... It wasn't like the size of the Titanic. It was just, like, too big. It's like in a video game when you're standing next to something that isn't scaled properly because they can't make it small enough because then it would be the same size as, like, a fire hydrant. But then to make it bigger, it's like the size of a house.
Well, it's like in GTA, in like older GTA games, how you're not... It's meant to be a facsimile of the world, but it doesn't look quite right if you stop and look at it for too long. It's meant to look good while you're driving really fast. And to be readable when you're driving really fast. Okay, this guy's in a huge pickup truck. Huge silver pickup truck.
And he just backed out of his driveway and drove away. And then I actually just remembered further down the road that another old neighbor of mine, just being in his house, I have dreams where buildings that I'm familiar with are like decrepit and covered in moss. And I just remember seeing that house looking like it was falling apart and covered in moss. But the main event of the dream, I was in the basement of some house, and it was like an old brick wall basement. And I looked at like a hole in the bricks long enough to see like a slimy tail like move past.
I don't like this.
Dude, yeah. a slimy tail like move. It was shaped like a spade, like on a card, like kind of like a heart, you know, upside down.
It was the end of the tail.
Yeah.
That was like a spade.
Yeah.
And so like a dragon tail.
Yeah. And it just kind of slid by and looked like shiny, like it was sticky or slimy or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, I was like, I really need to get out of this.
That was in a basement.
That was in a basement.
Do you know what the basement was?
I don't. It might have been in the house across the street.
Okay.
But I have no clue. And so as I'm leaving, I hear this noise, and it was this creature was like almost like it was singing, like it was just kind of like a scary. It was like a crying, but almost like a lullaby type, like weird sound. And the freaky thing is, I looked up and I saw it, and it was just like up in like sitting on a pipe or something. Mm-hmm. And the weird thing is that I remember it had black and green skin and it had like tufts of like white hair. And I remember it looked kind of like a gremlin, but not
like the brainy gremlin.
But not a gremlin.
It was the brainy gremlin.
So the weird thing is that it looked kind of like a gremlin, but did not look like a gremlin. But now that I've woken up, I can't remember what it looks like. It just looks like a gremlin in my head. But I know in the dream that I was like, that reminds me of a gremlin, but it does not. It was a lot fucking scarier than a gremlin. So I guess I blocked it out and just made it a gremlin. So, cool. Hopefully that's not some weird shit going on.
Is that the end of the dream?
I woke up.
So, in all likelihood, that represents the thing in your mind that you are most afraid of confronting.
Cool.
But that it is most important that you do confront. And
I hope I never see it again.
Your dreams are helping you to approach it.
Ugh.
It's great that it looks just like the brainy gremlin. Seriously, I love the brainy gremlin angle. That's a lot of good synchronicity between the podcast and Dreamcast. Mm-hmm. I'm into that.
Yeah, well, good. Hopefully there's like more of it later.
And you think it might have been under the house across the street?
Yeah.
What made you think that? Just because of the connection?
That the last place I remember being was that.
And you saw the man leaving the house in a huge silver pickup truck.
Giant silver pickup truck. Yeah.
And you think maybe a missing part of the dream is you going into the house and going into the basement.
Yeah. The only thing I can think about for the size of the pickup truck is that this has happened to me before, where I will dream of, like, I will have a dream, I've had a dream about my grandfather, but he was fucking huge, like a giant, and I think it's because it's like I'm a grown-up in the dream, but like my grandfather is the size of relative to when I was he was alive. Like, so I was like fucking 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
So I think that is where that
that's
comes from. That truck that's the size of, if I were relative to the size of the truck.
So perhaps you were dreaming of a time when you were very young.
Yeah.
Perhaps you were very young in the dream.
Yeah.
And when you're young is a time when you are scared of basements.
Yes.
And you are scared, and when you are young is also a time when you are confronting a lot of things about the world, that you're learning new stuff. You're taking in new knowledge about the way the world works, and having to incorporate it into your mental model, and being forced to face a lot of scary stuff as a result of that process. So maybe this is pushing you back towards something in your childhood.
Cool.
Yeah. keep thinking on that.
Keep pushing that boundary.
Yeah, keep pushing that button.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, this was a weird episode, everybody.
No, if this was your first time listening, thank you very much.
Yeah. Come back when we're talking about more.
Swans.
Yeah. Oh wait. Why don't you come back in September when we party like it's 1999?
We've got a good series coming up for you folks.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. Good movies that everyone likes.
Yeah, we actually
like Bicentennial Man.
We have some. I'm pretty excited. I think we have a couple back-to-back banger months.
We got a couple great months. We might have to start party like it's 1999 partway through. Well, we were thinking about doing the Halloween series, starting that partway through September, right?
Yes.
There are 6 of each.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe we need to start. Well, what's party like it's 1999 going to consist of?
4 episodes, I think.
4 episodes. Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see. I think
we've got the Matrix, Fight Club, Bicentennial AI, Office Space, and The Sixth Sense. Now we can lose Bicentennial AI. One of those things is not like the others.
I looked on Wikipedia the other day and wrote down a list of good movies from 1999. So I'm not sure if I'm fully committed to mine. I know Office Space will be one.
Yeah, The Matrix. Definitely. To set up the future Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions.
And Animatrix.
And the Animatrix.
But,
I think Fight Club is important to have on there, too.
Yeah, I'm willing to watch Fight Club because I saw it in high school and I just, didn't get it. Didn't get the hype. So maybe
Fight Club's overplayed, though.
I don't know. Again, I don't know. Say if I watched Donnie Darko when I was in 9th grade and I was just like, I don't know what everyone's talking about. You guys should watch Terminator 2 because that's a good movie.
And Trancers and The Guest in preparation for our Terminator 2 Trancers, The Guest series.
So, yeah. We have a few loose ends to tie up, and then we're going to be doing Party Like It's 1999.
No, seriously. Next week, this week's episode goes up on the 30th or 29th or something. Then the week after that is going to be August 6th or 5th or whatever. And that'll be The Seer, and My Father Will Guide Me Up a Rope to the Sky.
Yes.
Then after that, we maybe should start doing Party Like It's 1999.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because we'll be done with that midway through September. We'll do the other Swans albums at some point.
Yeah. So we're going to do, next week we're doing those 2 Swans albums. They are again.
My Father Will Guide Me Up a Rope to the Sky and The Seer.
Yeah. Then after that,
great albums.
We're going to Party Like It's 1999, where we watch
a lot of movies.
4 awesome movies that came out in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it will be bringing us into October, where we will be doing
Frankenstein of the Dead.
Yes. Our long-awaited sequel to Texorcism last October.
Yep.
That's going to be exciting. That's going to be good stuff.
That is.
So if you're new to the show, thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you found us on Facebook. If you don't want to sit around on Facebook and just hope we put up a stream, you can check out fully edited and recorded episodes of Ben and Curt Till It Hurts by subscribing to Black Gold Podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. You can also stream it from Buzzsprout if you want, and you can listen to it on YouTube. You can follow Ben and Curt Till It Hurts on Twitter at Ben_and_Curt, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KurtCake5K.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else before we leave?
Nope.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
We will see you guys next week. I like the sound. I think they are audio.
They are. Actually, I do think they're more comfortable than
earbuds are sometimes they just feel assaulting. They just feel like they're screaming into your canal.
Yeah, your canal would be insulting. potion jars?
Those were that's just colored water.
Oh.
That I wanted to look like Zelda potion bottles.
That's a good idea. Did you make those?
I did.
Oh, that's cool.
And I saw the bottles when I was wandering around while Laura was looking at stuff at Hobby Lobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's sick. I'm going to buy those right
are
now.
Zelda potion bottles.
Yeah, like they're
perfect.
they're the definition.
You should get one with a fairy in it.
That's a good idea too.
Just put a little light or something.
Yeah. Ben Curt. 55. Cool.
You gotta turn off the stream.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Not used to that part.
I can just see the light from the webcam. Oh, time to go into hibernation mode till the next time we have to record a podcast. Just slow down.
Do I just close the page?
You can go to OBS.
Okay.
You're gonna want to hit stop stream.